Hey, this is Will Power, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indie Sports Car Podcast. What's up, Missy?
Hello, hello.
What's going on, K to the A?
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Well, it's happy whenever you feel like listening to this fine show day, Christian. This is a podcast. That's a beautiful thing of it. It's a Thursday for us. It could be a Friday for you fine folk. Probably will, because that's about how lazy I am, and I'll get it out there by then. So, I am so lazy, dude. So Missy, we recorded a few interviews through my phone, through the beautiful sounding Podbean app, with our lovely friends of Parker Thompson and Pat Gerrard. I don't know what that accent was. It wasn't Irish. Okay, and then with our awesome. Well, Missy has a better one, to be honest with you. It sounds so much better. I'm so jealous. But it is the same model that I have. It's just the newer one. Christian, she had to go out and get the same model Sony recorder that I have, just the newer version, the upgraded model, the better sounding one.
Hey,
yep.
Hey, that's her job, though. You know, as a journalist, have the best equipment.
And as a wife to outdo her husband.
Definitely.
Yep.
I ain't even mad at you, Missy. I ain't even mad at you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rock on. So I got Victor Franzoni, and I interviewed him. Okay, full disclosure, it doesn't sound like it, but if you really listen, I was talking to him as he was he was a pro Mazda driver for about 3/4 of the interview, until I was like, "Oh yeah, you're in the lights." Oops.
There's Frank making the show proud. One interview at a time again.
Do you know, listen, and I was telling Missy about this, like how we get interviews is just by sheer coincidence, chance, luck, and timing. So it's very hard to just pull all the information out of your head that you know about a driver on the spot when you say, "Hey, can I get an interview with you real quick?" Yeah, walk with me. See what I'm saying? So, it was still fresh in my head. Pro Mazda, Franzoni, Anthony Martin, rivalry and all that. And I knew that Franzoni won the championship. Because AJ's not there right now. He couldn't secure the funding for this year. He came real close, but it fell through at the last minute. And he's hoping for next year, and we hope to. So, but I did have some really good data that Krista Hardy shared with me earlier on in the media center. That, get this, from Barber 2016, Franzoni's USF 2000 rookie season, only season, right? From Barber till Missy, where did he finish in race 2?
Second.
Okay, so the streak is still alive. This man has not finished worse than 5th since Barber of his USF 2000 career. It's 3
that's
lines, 2016, 2017, current era. It's all numbers from 5 and down to 1. And Hardy just kind of scrolled it for me. I'm like, wow, that's dominance. That's how you win championships, right there.
That's such a Krista Hardy thing to do too.
It really is, and I'm glad.
Human stat machine, that guy. But
I'm so glad I remembered it.
Impressive.
Yep, I did shout Chris out during the interview, and I plugged Motorsport Tribune for him, and among other things for him. So I didn't take credit for knowing all that. I gave him credit, but I did take credit for remembering. Yep. And Franzoni's like, yeah, you're right. And that got Franzoni all hyped up and anxious. So I got him talking. He's really cool. You know, I like him. Like by proxy, I stayed away by proxy because I was a Anthony Martin big supporter. We became pretty good friends with AJ and all. So and his rival was Franzoni, so I didn't want to. You know what I mean? It's kind of you gotta when there's a rival going, you just gotta pick a side. And sometimes you gotta stick with that side. Well, I don't have to do that right now because I don't have to. But last year I did. But Victor's a great guy. He really is. He's a really good dude. He really is. I mean, I wish Victor all the best. Really. I mean, he'll be an IndyCar before you know it. I would say Victor Franzoni, Pato Award. I would say Pato Award is number one. Victor Franzoni's number two, and I'm talking pure racing talent as he sits in the car, right? I'm not talking money. I'm not talking sponsors. I'm talking pure racing talent, right? Like phenom level talent. I'm saying Pato Award's number one. Victor Franzoni's number two. Number three. Ooh, that's a toughie. Missy, do you agree with my one and twos?
That they'll make it into IndyCar, you mean?
No, right now as they sit, who's in MRTI racing right now, as far as pure natural talent, the best of the best, and obviously the Indy Lights, then they're down to Pro Mazda, down to USF level. So if you had to rank, taking all the drivers from MRTI as a whole, all three series, and then taking natural talent into consideration, and only natural talent into consideration, do you agree with me that Pato Award's number one and Franzoni's number two?
I would agree. Yes, Pato. Yes, Pato is a great natural talent. Yes.
If he didn't lose it in St. Pete
I-
race 2, he'd be sweeping the season right now.
Well, yeah, but you don't necessarily need to sweep the season to win the season.
No, but it's a lot easier to win the season if you sweep it.
Sure.
Moving on.
So anyway, so this weekend at Barber,
I asked you a question.
and I answered it.
No, you didn't. I asked you who would be your number 3.
Well, I didn't agree with your number 2, so.
Okay, well, who would be your number
But
2?
This is called. Cut me off again.
This is called conversation.
God.
I didn't cut you off.
Yeah.
Seething.
Will you talk, please? Who's your number 2?
So yeah, I think yes, Pato. I agree would be number 1. I might throw Victor as a number 3.
Okay, it's debatable. I still haven't heard number 2 yet.
Yeah, I don't know who. A whole series.
You want me to call on Christian and give you a little bit of time to think about it? Christian. That silence was yeah. Okay. Do you agree with my 1 and 2, or would you say no? Or do you want to stay out of this?
No. I don't stay out of anything.
Well, you know what I mean. I don't ever.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
Trust me. I don't try to do those types of things to you when I ask you certain loaded questions.
Totally
every once in a while I do. Yes, that's true.
You totally do.
But I haven't. No.
The week before.
What?
You haven't planned from the week before.
No, I don't. Why? No. I would come up with them on the spot,
Got
but
a notebook full of these questions.
no, I don't. This is all in my head. I don't show prep at all. I really don't. Ask Missy. I come home, I sit down, and I call you. So, that's how good I am. My point being is, what we hit record. You hear what we do. I don't edit anything ever. And if I do, you'll hear Missy's funny little jingle, and that's because we had a power outage, and we're re-record. We're starting back up. or Apple decides to update whenever it feels like it. Like loves to do that. Anyway. Okay, so Christian, who would be your 1, 2, and 3?
Uh, mm, 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 mm. I'll agree with your 1 and 2. I think those are
Thank you.
those are legitimate.
Now
That
give me a
third
3.
place. I mean, just out of the whole.
You can pick a USF, Pro Mazda. It's user
Just
choice.
the whole. I throw Oliver third then.
Ooh, nice pick. I didn't even think of him. I mean, I thought of him maybe top 5, but okay,
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I don't agree, but I agree to disagree with you on that.
And that's fine. That's fine.
And we love Ollie. I wouldn't put him 3 just yet, but he's getting there. Once he's in Indy Lights, we'll talk about him being in 3. But I'm sure that'll be next year. Missy, have you come up with your 2 and 3 yet?
Yeah. Santi and Victor.
Did you do that did you say that on purpose just to mess with me? Or do you actually believe that? You cannot actually believe that. I'm sorry. I know you too well, and you're full of S. That's funny, though. It's not true. It's funny.
Anyway, so this weekend, let's start with Pro Mazda. What?
You can't make this decision, can you?
I just did.
You weren't
Pato,
joking?
Santi, and
That's
Victor.
what
No,
she
I was
said.
not joking.
That's what she said.
Well, I want to debate you, woman.
And it just so happens I know the Santi pick. I just figured, I do agree with his being number 2, and it just irk you too.
You couldn't put Santi as 3?
No.
Well, he deserves it.
Why would you say that?
Because Franzoni's better?
No, he's not in championship.
I don't care about points. I'm talking about natural talent sitting in a car. I don't care about points. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about money, sponsor, fans, popularity, personality. I don't care about any of that. I'm talking about natural racing talent. And if Santi was better than Victor, he'd be an IndyCar by now. Just saying.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, he had the money, and Mello is what did Townsend say when he was 2 laps down and he passed somebody in the rain?
Oh, we're not getting into that just yet.
Oh my God,
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Let's finish the MRTI first here. God.
It's kind of MRTI. It's claiming DeMello.
So MRTI this weekend. No, it's not. MRTI this weekend. Pro Mazda and Indy Lights were at Barber this weekend. No USF 2000 this year.
Which is a travesty.
So race 1 for Pro Mazda, you had Parker Thompson taking victory, followed by Harrison Scott and David Malukas to round out the podium. Then you had Andres Gutierrez, Rinus VK, Rafael Martins, Oliver Askew, Corey Enders, Stingray Robb, Carlos Cunha, Nikita Lishtokin, Lodovico Larini, Chris Wright, Robert McGinnis, Charles Finelli, and Antonio Cervali was your finishing order for race 1 Pro Mazda.
I yelled at McGinnis in the paddock. It was funny.
And then race 2, you had Harrison Scott finishing on first in this race, followed by Parker Thompson and Carlos Cunha to round the podium. And you had Rinus VK, followed by David Malukas, Robert McGinnis, Andreas Gutierrez, Rafael Martins, Lodovico Larini, Stingray Robb, Nikita Lishtokin, Oliver Askew, Corey Enders, Chris Wright, Antonio Cervali, and Charles Finelli was your finishing order for race 2. So
now Finelli's national class, isn't he? Right? Isn't he like the only national class driver in Pro Mazda, or are they doing that this year?
I don't know.
Me neither. Moving on. But I was talking to him. Nice guy.
So after this weekend in Barber, your championship leader is Parker Thompson, followed by Renus VK and David Malukas are your top 3 in championship right now for Pro Mazda.
Renus's dad was so mad. Oh boy. You want to see a fuming Dutchman, or what is he? Netherlands?
No,
Yeah, that's Dutch.
Yeah. Boy, he's a. Oh wow.
So Indy Lights this weekend. So sweeping the weekend, actually, you had Pato Award in race 1 was your winner, followed by
He
Colton
must have followed the rainbow to the pot of gold. That was the 2 podiums in luck in the Irish, I swear.
and Santi Urtia to round out your podium. Then you had Victor Franzoni, Ryan Norman, Dalton Collette, Alfonso Celis, and Aaron Tielitz. Poor Aaron got taken out again.
Yeah, but at least the car was salvageable this time.
Oh, yes, thank God.
It wasn't totaled, so I felt good for him.
So that was race
was a
1.
win for him.
Yeah.
Well, actually, race 2 was a bigger one for him.
So race 2, you had Pato Award.
It must have been the lucky of the Irish again, because it was raining and the rainbow was definitely there. Because we all know that where there's rain, there's rainbows. And where there's rainbows, there's a pot of gold.
Oh, God. Followed by Victor Franzoni and Colton Herter to round your podium. And Aaron Tielitz finally finishing a race here. Followed by Santi Urtia, Dalton Collette, Ryan Norman, and Alfonso Celis is your finishing order for race number 2. So your championship leader following this weekend is Pato Award, followed by...
How about that, Pato?
God! And Colton Herter are your top 3 now.
He must have a 1-leaf clover, because he's first. Oh God, I haven't done that in so long. It's so rusty and bad. I mean, not that it's good ever, but it's just funny. And I have permission to do that, by the way.
so bad that it's good.
Yep. Pato has officially given me permission to do that impersonation of him.
Thanks, Pato. Thanks.
Hey, he said he is half Irish, so he's not denying it. I mean, come on, his last name kind of says it all. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I love how everyone went, he's Mexican, Frank, he's not Irish. And I went, oh, really? And then I stopped doing the that. But then, yep. There it is, Christian. I told you you'd hear it eventually.
There it is. Thank you for with your rendition of the Irish accent.
Oh, it's going to get so much better. Trust me, it gets better as I do it more. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether this was better than when you did it when Keith was on.
Well, it's probably worse, but better. Because when Keith was on, I just did like a quick sampling,
It's more cowbell,
Yeah, it was, I need more cowbell. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like when Keith was on, it was just like, it kind of sounds like this. But when you're in the moment to do it, that's when it sounds like that.
Frank's in his bag tonight. I'm not mad at you. He's in rare form. Frank is in rare form tonight. Right?
I'm in a good mood. Very good mood.
I see it.
But it was good racing this weekend for the ladder series going on. Pro Mazda Indy Lights is pretty good.
Yeah, they didn't have a monsoon wash their race away.
Yeah,
It did rain, but yeah.
It didn't rain hard enough yet, though. But we all knew that, because of at race weather.com. Doug Schneider at race, another number forecaster, and they have a website. But if you go to that Twitter, you'll find the website. And if I had that up, I would know that real quick. But, they always have the weather report for the weekend for us at the end of every lowdown for the showdown for this year. And they were dead on. He said 100% chance of pouring rain, didn't he?
And it did that.
Oh, boy, did it.
And it did that.
I was soaked.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Did you have an umbrella?
Sort of. I brought one. I don't think I opened it for 3 years, and when I opened it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that thing even moved, and I just tossed it in the trash. It was all rusty. Yeah.
That's okay, man. That's okay.
But I had I grabbed my Carhartt, and I threw it over my head and kind of draped it over me. And it was like my rain poncho.
Gotcha.
It really sucks as rain poncho, by the way. It just absorbs the water, really. It doesn't repel it at all.
Yeah,
Sure.
and Missy's decided, I'm just going to stay inside the media center. Yeah.
Smart.
And watch it on TV.
Whether it rains or it shines, that's what we normally do. You're in the media center 3 times longer than I am normally because I'm out, I'm all over the place.
That's not true.
Frank's in the field, right?
I usually go on pit lane, but and I've been out there when it's rained, but that was a little too much for me. I didn't feel like it.
No, it was raining dogs and cats, as they say. But backwards.
Yeah, it was boring.
Mm.
And it shouldn't have been restarted, but yeah.
No.
I'm surprised we didn't see the double birds again.
They deserved it. It would have been warranted. That's for sure. I'm
you
so
still can't even
happy
get
it
a
took
clear
his
picture.
crash to red flag the freaking thing. I'm happy about that. How did Ryan Hunter-Reay miss him? Wow, was that close? That was wow. Ryan Hunter-Reay's life flashed before his eyes with a big shiny.
I don't even
chrome
think he's
car.
seen his life flash before his eyes because he probably couldn't see anything.
Newgarden's life flashed before his eyes, and it was all him. I can't believe he caught that. That was one heck of a wiggle, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of wiggling going on.
Yep. Like
Two in a row now.
Yep. What's that?
2 wins in a row for Joey.
It is. Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
So will this? So say.
Wait, 2 wins in a row for who?
Newey.
No, it's not.
Yeah, who won?
You mean
Long
at Barber?
Beach? Who won Long Beach?
No. He won.
I was like Rossi
Phoenix,
won Long
and then
Beach.
he won.
Yeah, so it's not
I'm sorry. Yeah,
back-to-back.
we had Long Beach in between. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, Phoenix and yeah. So
All right, so he's won 2 out of the 4 this year.
2 out of the 4 though. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, he's leading the championship with Rossi right behind him, I think.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is getting interesting. This is really.
I never
really
thought
gonna
I'd see
be
Rossi
interesting.
where he is, or Wickens for that matter.
Yeah. This is really going to be.
I mean, going into May, did anybody see Newgarden, Rossi, and Wickens 1, 2, 3?
Wickens, no, definitely not.
Not even Rossi. I mean, come on.
Oh man, Wickens isn't 3rd in championship.
Okay, who
I
is?
think
He's not even. It's Newgarden, Rossi, and Sebastian Bourdais are the top 3, and then you have.
Can you believe we're going
Ray
into May
Hall,
with Newgarden,
Fitch.
Rossi, and Bourdais? I mean, who saw that coming?
No, definitely not. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I think Newgarden is expected, but obviously, Rossi's got that hunger this year, and definitely did not expect Bourdais not in being the top 3. So this is good, man. This is good. I'm really excited.
That part right there is one of those times I wish I edited the show. Because I would just cut the part out where I said Wickens,
It's never too late.
No, I'm not going to start doing it now. It's been almost 4 years. Why start now?
I mean, Wickens is in the top 10. He's 8th in championship standings right
Well,
now.
in my heart, he's 3rd. How about that? In my head, he should be, from what I've seen.
In my heart.
I don't care what the real points say. It's what my head thinks.
That's right.
So this
Real points
weekend,
don't matter. IndyCar.
I didn't
What
know
matters
Ryan
is
Hunter-Reay
what's in
was
Frank's
the.
heart.
I didn't know Ryan Hunter-Ray was the vice champion of this race until I saw the hat go on his head and I saw second on the side. I'm
So
not
speaking
joking.
of winners, so as we said, Joseph Newgarden was your winner this weekend, followed by Ryan Hunter-Ray and James Hinchcliffe to round out the podium. And
Who
then
pissed his
Robert
pants?
Wickens was right behind him. And then Sebastian Bourdais, Scott Dixon, Graham Rahal, Takuma Sato, Simon Pageant, and Marco Andretti were your top 10. Then you had Alexander Rossi, Matthias Lace, Zach Veach, Jordan King, Spencer Pigot, Renee Binder, Gabby Chavez, Tony Kanaan, Zachary Clemens-Mello, Ed Jones, Will Power, Max Chilton, and Charlie Kimball was your finishing order.
How on earth did Marco get top 10 after spinning once? That was crazy.
He spun?
Yeah. He spun right in front of Hinch. Yeah.
Oh, there were so many people that spun. I mean, I seen Graham Rahal spun.
Yeah.
Of course, we know Will Power spun.
Charlie Kimball, because Ed Jones, apparently.
Oh, yes, that's what he says.
Yeah, Charlie Kimball needs to settle down his pointing fingers at people stuff. I want to ask Charlie, so how did it feel? you pointing fingers at someone else taking you out. How did that feel? Were you upset?
I thought there was a lot of well, I mean, if you look at Spencer Pigot and Zachary Clemens-Mello, I mean, Spencer Pigot
Oh yeah.
pushed Zachary Clemens-Mello for a while, like.
Yeah, but what was Clemens-Mello doing?
Wild. He just kind of hung on to it like a drift move.
Yeah, I was
like a
surprised his
Formula
front
D
wing
and-
held up, though. I was like, wow, his front wing
Yeah,
held up for that. I thought he was losing that.
But the
But
more
they said there was
interesting
some
part of
action
that is
going on between those two right before that happened, so.
Yeah. No, but what I think the most interesting part about that is the beef now with Marco and Zachary Clemens-Mello.
Oh yeah.
Online, that's hilarious to me.
Say it to my face.
Say it to my. You got a problem with my driving? You say it to my face, buddy.
Well, actually,
you know,
'cause
like
I thought it came from the whole. I mean, because they posted it on the picture of the video of Zachary and Spencer.
And Pickett, right?
But yeah, and but it was funny because I was watching the Facebook stream today, before the show started. Zachary Clemens-Mello and Marco Andretti had a little incident, and Zachary Clemens-Mello stuck his nose in there and almost took Marco out. I was like, that's where this must have came from.
Yeah.
Well, because wasn't Marco on the lead lap and Clemens-Mello was like 2 laps down by then?
I know, and that's where I have a problem with it. Like, you shouldn't be. You're 2 laps down. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't be racing. No.
You should.
Okay. So how do you? Well, okay, right. I can agree with you guys. How did you guys feel though about the broadcasting around that particular part of the race? Because they were actually giving him props for it. All the broadcasters were like, "He's 2 laps down, but he's racing just like he's on the lead lap." And we, what an exciting thing. And
then,
how do you
and then
guys feel about
Townsend came out with the biggest.
voting?
And then Townsend Bell came out with the biggest chill. Oh, what did he say, Messi? About the Clemens-Mello?
I don't remember.
He was.
I mean, he looked racy. He did, but
It was so.
but I mean, you're 2 laps down. You're not racing anybody. You're 2 laps down. You shouldn't be.
I mean, he made a good move.
But then again,
it was a good move
it was
because
Paul Tracy talking too, but Paul Tracy probably would have did half that crap too. So.
Well, he has done all.
Well,
of
I know
that,
exactly.
Actually. He's done every bit of it, 100 times over.
So do you feel like the commentators had to say that? Because I mean, you got to say something positive, right, about what's going on.
I think they were just looking for. I think they were just commenting on some. Honestly, I don't think that move would have happened if he was on the same lap as Marco and Marco was actually racing him like he was racing Marco.
Right.
Because I don't think Marco was racing him like, oh, it's Clemens-Mello, he's not even on my lap, whatever. Whoa, that was crazy. What did you do that for? That's how he was racing him. It wasn't like Marco was trying to hold him off or anything. So if they were on the same lap, I don't think that move would happen. Because
No, probably not.
But yeah, Clayman DeMello maybe didn't know what lap he was or didn't care, because let's face it, Marco's not racing for his seat or his life or anything, but Clayman DeMello is. Like, every lap is a showcase lap for him, right? I mean, really, to keep on racing, because he's the new guy, he's the rookie. He doesn't have a full season ride, does he? Right now?
No, he's the
So he's got stuff to prove. He wants to, show what he can do.
half-seater of Dale Coyne.
Yeah, he wants to show what he can do in a Dale Coyne car in half a season. So he only gets so many chances, so he's going to take the chances that he can take.
Right.
I mean, I get it. But I just.
But yeah,
you're in a position to risk
when
more.
you're two laps down, and Spencer Pigot at that point was on the lead lap. But
on the lead lap, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then again,
Pigot,
there was
not
no
Marco.
action taken. So I don't know if Spencer. I don't think Spencer had the line. I mean, looking at it, so
just because
maybe
a car,
Spencer should have backed off. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Missy, I agree with what you were saying right there. Yeah.
so I mean, there was no action taken. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Spencer. I think looking at the video, Zachary Clayman DeMello was in front of him, so I don't think Spencer shouldn't have put his nose there. But he did, and that is what it is.
Now, Missy saw more of the.
And Clayman DeMello was 2 laps down because he was given a penalty for, I believe they worked on his car during the red flag, so he was given a 2-lap penalty, and that's how he wound up 2 laps down.
What did they do to his car again?
I don't know what they did. They worked on it during the red flag, so that's why he was penalized.
Now, why are they allowed to work on the driver's helmets, visors, and all, but not the car? It just seems to me that they shouldn't be able to touch anything.
Well, IndyCar said it was okay for them to change helmets and things, but again, during the red flag, you're not allowed. No, a helmet versus working on your car.
If you're not allowed out of the car when it's a red flag, if you're not allowed out of the car, because that's why James peed himself, because he had to go and they wouldn't let him out of the car. He's part of the car, so the visor's part of the car. Sorry, shouldn't be able to change visors.
What?
Just saying.
The visor's part of.
If the driver is part of the car, if the driver's part of it, look, if Hinch wasn't allowed to get out of his car to pee because it was under red flag,
but that's
that means
completely different, though. If you can't see out your visor, you're a safety hazard to everyone. If you can't see out your visor,
it's your fault for not rain-Xing both sides of your visor for the wet.
God.
So let's kill everybody behind you because you didn't put Rain-X on both sides, or change the visor and we all go home alive, Frank. Which one? What are you saying here?
Well, they never resumed the race after that, because 30 seconds after James went, okay, well, off I go,
right,
and then they called it. So, or no,
I don't have a problem with them letting them change their visors. I don't have a problem with the visors.
I don't either.
If you're going into a wet race, you should make sure the tear-offs are all perfect. Your Rain-X both sides. This is standard, look ahead and prepare procedure stuff. Right?
I don't think the visor was a big deal.
Then they should have been allowed out of the car.
I had more of an issue with that, everyone being allowed to refuel overnight. Like, I had an issue with that. I don't think that should have been allowed, because people were on different strategies at that point, and so you allow everyone to refuel. That.
Well,
Oh, wait a minute. You're okay with this? No.
Okay. If they're going to let people refuel, then they should have let them fix Will's car.
Change from rain tires to whatever tire they want to start on. That's the only change that should have been made.
Which nobody's going to change.
You're not allowed to touch your car overnight, because they couldn't impound everyone's car overnight, so they couldn't touch it. But I guess maybe that was their way of, making an even playing field because they thought maybe some people would refuel. I don't know. But the only change that should have been made from one race to the next is the tires, because if it's not raining out, then that's the only change that should have been made. Everybody shouldn't have been allowed to refuel. It should have been as your car as it was.
Yeah, but they can't impound 20 freaking cars. They don't have any place to put them.
Well, yes, I know this.
Well,
and hence they allowed everyone to refuel.
you can't leave fuel in a fuel tank and let it sit, because then it'll settle. That's why they did it. I mean, they drain all the fluids out of these cars when they're done with them, because you can't let this stuff settle. Gas has sediment in it, and if it settles to the bottom of the tank, you don't want that. You want all that fuel with no sediment. You want a clean tank, no sediment. Right, Christian?
Yep.
Because what's going to happen? That sediment gets into the injectors and it screws everything up. And these things are so touchy that it could tell the computer that injector 5 is all screwed up. It could just shut the whole engine down. And then where are you? Because of the fuel cell. So I understand, because they had to refuel because that night they took all the fuel out of the cars. Trust me. That's why they had to refuel.
Well, that's fine, but they should have had the same amount put back in. Because again,
you can't measure that.
Some people had just pitted. So no, it wasn't right that everyone got to refuel. And that's just no.
Yeah, but everyone just pitted and then they red flagged it.
No, everyone didn't just pit. There was only 6 guys that did that. So the rest of the field. So no, it wasn't.
The leaders didn't pit.
No, I believe there's only 6 of them. It was, I think Marco was one. I think Simon Pagino was another one. Scott Dixon might have been another one that had just pitted.
So you're saying their strategy would have put them in the front if this yellow would have came out and then they start racing again, is what you're saying? So they're off strategy because of their horrible qualifying, and you want IndyCar to make an exception for them, but the leaders who qualified great and are on the right strategy, let's penalize them, basically.
Who's to say what the right strategy was?
The leaders. The leaders dictate the right strategy. Christian, back me up here.
Again, I don't think they should have been all allowed to refuel, period.
Christian, what do you think?
The only thing that should have been allowed to those cars were to change the tires.
Okay, Missy.
Nothing else should have been touched on those cars.
Missy, okay, now explain the logistics to me of how they're going to make sure when they drain every gas tank or fuel tank in the car, IndyCar is going to regulate that much down to the milliliter or whatever.
Hence was my reasoning why I said that's probably why IndyCar let them all refuel. Again, I don't think it's right, but I see that's probably why they let them all refuel.
Well, it's just they had to let them refuel because they had to have that fuel is, when it's in that, the holding tank and everything, it's not just sitting there, it's being stirred. There's a stir in there. You know this?
I get it. I just don't think it should have happened. But
that's
why I'm
purpose,
assuming.
So there's no sediment, so it's always mixed. It's always the right mixture going in, and then they burn it, and it's nice and clean, no sediment, no nothing. Now, if you want to take a measurement of how much they got left, and then say you can only put this much in, you know how hard it would be to regulate that.
You know what? I'm gonna be the dark horse or the bad guy here. They had plenty of time to do it. It rained. They had plenty of time to measure that.
With what? What were they going to do? Stick a yardstick into the tank, into the car?
Hey, if they were already pulling the fuel out, you have half a tank in here. You're only allowed to put half a tank back in tomorrow morning.
Teams would. Do you know how
it would
easy it would be?
In presence of an official.
Listen, when they're not looking pissed into this jug. You know how easy it would be for teams to just get over on that? It's so easy. I wonder which strategy would be less or more. I don't know. More, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Then what do you want them to do? Like take it back to a lab, make sure it's all gas and no water or something. You see what I mean here? It's a logistical nightmare. So just let them all refuel because they had
Well,
all
again,
empty out.
that's why I say I get why. That's probably why they let them all refuel. Not saying I thought it was right.
But it's the only way they could do it. It's not right or wrong. It's just is. It's what had to be done. It's what had to be done. Christian,
I guess.
your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on this one though, Frank. Yeah, it just would have been impossible really to measure all that stuff out and just let them do it. But yeah.
In a perfect world, I agree with Missy. In in rainy Alabama, I
As
see
far
why
as
they
like
did it.
practicality, yeah, it just wouldn't have been
Yeah, no, yeah.
practical. No.
Maybe in F1 if they ever. I mean, have they ever? When's the last time that they red flagged an F1 race due to rain? I mean, I remember watching some races where I believe it was like the Chinese Grand Prix like 2 years ago, where those big overhang, weird looking ovals are, right? And all the rain was like it was like a waterfall coming off of those things, and they would come down the front stretch, and every time the car would hit, like it looked like a river basically that was forming. They were just all over the place. I think I remember Rossi crashing in a Manor car. I think it was in one of the races because Chinese Grand. Yeah, it's always like the third race of the season. So Rossi raced that race, and I remember it being like a monsoon, and they let him go. I mean they have two rain tires for crying out loud. So I don't know, but yeah. I mean, has that? I can't remember the last time F1 red flagged a race and postponed it due to rain. Do you?
It's because half the places they race are in the middle of a desert out in the middle of nowhere.
True enough. That is true. It's true. It's true. I mean, I can't argue with you. But however, they do race at Silverstone every year, and come on, it's guaranteed to be a wet race, either qualifying or practice or race. One of the three will be in the wet.
Right.
Hockenheim, Nürburgring, any European track, Spa definitely. I mean, Spa's almost a guarantee. I mean, the 24-hour Spa, I don't think has gone dry in 10 years. So, there's a lot of tracks that they go to where it rains a lot. But yeah, but I see your point with the desert and all.
But getting back to this race.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they rescheduled it for the very next day. To be honest, because I knew the
What
very
did you
next
think they were
day.
going to do?
I thought they were going to postpone it for like
Next
a month.
weekend?
No, like a month or two.
Really?
Like they did with
like
Texas.
They did with Texas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, in Texas, it was a lot less of a. I mean, yeah, it was a leaking track because of poor maintenance of it. But you have to assume by the very next day, with that heat down there, it would have been done and over with. But instead, they rescheduled it for 2 months later because of that. But they knew they weren't hoping for good weather on Monday. They knew it was still going to rain. They just knew it wasn't going to be as bad as Sunday. So they figured we'll just do it tomorrow. And I was really surprised.
Did you guys stay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yep, we stayed.
All right.
And good on the IndyCar fans because they still came out on Monday. There was a lot more IndyCar fans there on Monday than I thought there would be, to be honest. And I was happy to see it. Saturday though, man, Friday and Saturday, wow, some of the nicest days at a track you could ask for, dude. I mean, big puffy clouds in the sky. What was it, Missy? Like 65 tops,
I think it was like 70.
Yeah, I mean,
75.
I didn't get that high, but I mean,
But one day it
a
did.
nice wind. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful weather. And then Sunday, it was like, what happened? So, but yeah,
It was
definitely.
crappy on Sunday, but I mean, I am glad they postponed the race because it was raining really, really bad. They couldn't have raced in that.
Yeah, the problem was they were just putting around so much that
I mean, there was so many drivers, radioing in saying, "I can't see anything." I think somebody said, one of the drivers was just, I can't remember who it was, but he was just like, "Yeah, I was just driving along and like I knew somebody was in front of me." I forget. I thought it was like Scott Dixon.
it was, yeah.
And all of a sudden he's not there anymore, and I'm like looking around like, "Oh my God, where'd he go? Am I gonna get hit just now? Like, what happened to him? He was there, but now he's gone."
Right.
I mean, Will literally said he couldn't see the nose of his car when he crashed. It was that bad. The kick-up spray, and I think from the cars just kind of putting around and during a yellow during the worst rain and not racing, that was the biggest nail in the coffin, because if they were racing, at least that constant line that they're racing through, they would be, dissipating the puddles. They wouldn't be letting the puddles accumulate. But them going 60 miles an hour, they wasn't doing anything. So it was just puddling up everywhere. So hey, but at least Barnhart can't be blamed for that restart this time.
True. But yeah, it was
Anyways,
just a shame that that had to happen in order, for them to call the race.
3 out of 4 races this year, Will's
But I think,
crashed
but
out.
I think
Unbelievable.
kudos to Will's, pit crew. I mean, they got his car back together fairly quickly, so to get him back out there.
They had plenty of time to put all the pieces together and then switch them all out real quick.
Well, which is allowed. Now his car was impounded overnight, so they couldn't work on it. They were allowed to work on it, of course, during the yellows, but they stopped working on it during the red. It was impounded overnight. They were allowed to assemble everything that they needed
Which is
without
totally
putting it on
fair.
the actual car, yes. And then they were allowed to assemble it once the yellow flag came out on Monday with the start of the race.
They replaced half the side of the car basically.
I
They
thought it was like the rear suspension, front
Yeah,
suspension that was broke.
that's about the whole half of the car there. Yep. Well, was it the entire rear that they replaced? Just one big section? Boom. Or was it
Mhm.
like just the left side? Or what was it?
I thought they
He
replaced the
spun,
back,
so it
but
would have been his right side that he smashed up. Or it was his no right side because he smashed up facing the opposite direction. Yep, yep.
yeah, but
Either way.
but
It
I mean,
just
it just irks me when you see everybody on Twitter. Oh, Will gets to work on his car. No, he did not.
yeah, his
Like
pit
you
crew got to.
guys,
It's just like setting up, replacement wings before the race. Nothing
yeah,
different. It's just
yeah,
you're setting up a replacement half of a car.
yeah.
That's all.
I mean, but his car was impounded overnight, and he was allowed to fix his car because he wasn't officially retired um, when he crashed, and that's why they started fixing his car.
Because they got him back to his pit stall before the red flag came out, or before they called the race. Which one?
Well, they didn't declare him out of the race due to contact. Because I think as soon as he did hit Roger Penske, told the crew, start working on it. You're going to get him back out there. Because I'm assuming, Roger probably's like, oh, there's going to be a red flag probably. He probably seen all this and, knew what was going to happen. So,
Well, the man has experience, like
I mean,
beyond
yeah.
experience.
So, and hence why Charlie Kimball wasn't allowed to get back in the race because he was declared out of the race due to contact. So, but Will was never, declared out of the race due to contact. So that's why he was able to fix, his car during the yellows. And like I said,
You, do you
his
think
his car was impounded overnight.
Do you think Chip gave Ed like a bonus?
Or
Oh,
what?
bonus.
Where did that come from?
Well, Ed took out Charlie. Who Charlie raced for last year? Making the connections yet?
Jeez.
You did good, kid.
Well, I mean, Charlie claims that, Ed hit him from behind, but,
He did.
Ed's explanation, well, Ed said he don't think he did.
No, he physically did, but hey, it was in the wet and he couldn't see.
Oh.
He was really like, I mean, he was, yeah, yeah, like, he wasn't just behind him really close. He was right up his A. Yeah, I mean, I mean, wow. And for like the entire turn, it looked like until Charlie went that way and Ed kept on going.
Now, I didn't see what happened on track, but
You should
I
really
did see
watch
that.
it. It's wow, like it's
What,
like
that incident?
it's an entire right-hander that Ed was up Charlie's A and then
Oh, I did see that incident.
well, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but I was moving on to another incident.
Which incident were you moving on to?
Well, I didn't see the incident, which is hence is why I'm bringing it up, because obviously there was an incident. Because I did see a video after the race of Simon Pagenaud and Gabby Chavez going at it. But I didn't see what happened between those two on the race. But then again, because the race happened on a different day, our DVR didn't record it, and so I couldn't see it. But
Yeah, we didn't get to see the broadcast.
Simon Pagenaud wasn't happy with something Gabby did, and Gabby gave him a few choice words. I seen the video. I forget if it was on. I think it was on Twitter. I seen the video, but I was like, "Wow, Gabby just dropped the he dropped the F-bomb quite a few times to Simon." I'm like, "Whoa."
If you can paraphrase and just go F this and whatever, what did he say? As,
No, he
clo-
kept
as
no,
close to your memory.
he kept saying, "Get the F out of here." Gabby repeated that quite a few times.
Was
But
he
I couldn't
talking
hear
to
what-
Simon, or was Simon talking to a reporter and Gabby talking to a
No,
reporter?
no, Simon was no. They were talking to each other.
Oh, really?
Yes, they were talking to each other. There was no one in between them.
Did it almost come to fisticuffs?
I don't think so. But yeah, no, but
Good
Gabby,
old
yeah.
fashioned,
That's why I was trying to watch, the Facebook broadcast because I wanted to see what happened if I could pin it out, but I couldn't.
Well, what did Simon say to him?
I don't know. I couldn't hear that. The only thing, because Gabby was raising his voice, the only thing I could hear is Gabby repeatedly said, "Get the F out of here." And I couldn't hear what Simon was saying because Simon's back was towards the camera of whoever was filming it.
And Gabby's a little guy. I mean, so him puffing his chest out like that, he must have really felt strongly that he was in the right.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know. I don't even know what incident, if there was an incident. I don't know. I didn't see, like I said, didn't see it, but I was like, well, that's interesting. I wouldn't think those two guys would go at it, but okay.
Christian, did you see it?
I did not. No, unfortunately.
Miss you. Now, where did they finish comparatively? Because
Well, that's I know that's the thing. Simon finished 9th and Gabby finished 17th.
Yeah. So what's Simon all mad about?
Like I said, I don't know. I didn't see it. He was mad about something though. But yeah, I mean, this was an interesting race. There was a lot going on. You blink, you might have missed something. Like, I think Sebastian Bourdais, I don't know what they were thinking about calling his race. He should have.
What's that,
He
Christian?
should have got rain tires quicker.
Who?
I was just saying I'm probably going to watch it again tonight when I get back home.
Oh, right on. What, on the computer? Or?
Yeah.
It should be on YouTube.
Well, yeah.
YouTube, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you watch
I'll
on
have
the
to watch it, yeah.
when you watch on the computer, you should jump on Skype and just share a screen. Yeah, you can do that, right?
What's that?
On Skype, you can share a screen with each other and watch the same thing you're watching.
Oh, I see. I see.
Kind of like we're sitting in like a living room together, but you're
Right.
12 hours drive away. But
Right. Right.
kind of like right now, we're doing a show, but you're 12 hours away. But we do that every week. It's normal. So there you go. Yeah.
But anyway, I did think Sebastian would have had a nice shot of being on the podium if, I don't know what they were thinking with him not coming in for rain tires. Like, I just.
Well, Bourdais said, "Not the right thing to do." Quinn quotes. Yep.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who was calling it, but he should have came in. Like, and I was standing in pit lane and I was just watching and I'm just like, why isn't Sebastian coming in? He's on reds. He needs to come in. I'm like, well, maybe he thinks the rain's gonna stop, but I'm like, it's not stopping, dude. You need to come in. Like, and by the time he came in, I was just like, it's too late. He's done.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like the lap times that Ryan Hunter Ray were putting down, if the race was like 10 minutes longer, he would have won, hands down. He was going 4 seconds faster than Joseph each lap, but it just wasn't long enough. I found that out from my interview with Ryan Hunter Ray. You can check that out. It's posted up there everywhere. We're posted up. And where can they find all that good stuff, Missy?
That would be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on. Yep. And we have a new intro from Victor Franzoni, which good guy. And then Missy Colton Hunter, yeah. So it was a Franzoni interview, Colton Hunter interview, and Ryan Hunter Ray interview, all in one show. One quick, what was it, miss like 10 minutes or so altogether?
Of course not.
A little
12
less.
minutes? Yeah, not long. Check it out. Posted this morning. So right on, like after this is done playing, just let it play, and you'll get to listen to the interviews. It'll just keep on playing for you, no matter what app you're on. I'm sure it'll do it. Unless you're Stitcher, then you have to. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that one, but we're there. Yeah. We're everywhere. Anyway, so I guess a grade. You want to give this race a grade, guys? We always do that. Christian, you gonna start?
If the race just ran normally, the way it was supposed to, minus the rain and everything, I think I would have given it a different grade that I'm going to give it. It's going to get a higher grade for me because of the quality of product produced, even with the rain going on, and rescheduling it the very next day, getting it going, and still completing the thing. So I'm going to go with an A minus on this one, just because of IndyCar's ability to work through the weather conditions and still put on a good show for everybody. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was still exciting. I'll give you that. A lot to talk about. We just brushed the surface, and we have plenty of time to talk about until the GP, right? The GP is when, Missy?
That would be in 15 days.
Yep. So, yep. And then, just remember the Thursday before the race, slow down for the showdown. We'll go over, everybody's points for this race and all of the
I
other
feel like
stuff.
I did well. I know I did well because top two spots for mine. You said what? Bourdais finished sixth, fifth, sixth?
That's Missy's department.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So 3 of my 4 drivers in the top 5. Just saying.
Okay, just because I brought it up, I'll just go through. Like, I'll just pick out. Some.
No, Frank. We'll wait. We'll wait till the time when it's supposed to be. We'll do it at its allotted time. I'm just saying. I feel like I did well.
Well, now I'm interested because I think I did pretty poor. I'm almost positive I did pretty poor.
I'm almost positive of it. Yeah.
Okay, I got 10 points for Jones. Oh, I had Joseph Newey, 54 points, but then I had Power for 9 and Robert Wickens for 32. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, so that would have been Wyatt. That's my lineup. I don't want that. Oh, darn it. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So excuse me. Missy, grade? What would you give this?
I'm gonna give it a C plus.
Oh,
Really? Why?
wow.
Eh, just. I mean, Joseph Newgarden pretty much ran away with the race, so wasn't really any competition for first place, and
Well, that save won him that race. I don't know how he saved that.
yeah,
Wow. Did I mean like did you see the
the weather
in-car
kind of ruined
camera?
it for me. So yeah, the weather
Uh,
kind of ruined it for me. So yeah, I give it C
yeah,
plus.
but did you see the in-car camera of just Newgarden when he saved that car on that restart?
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That was some amazing
You know,
wheel
speaking
work.
of this, some of those nose cams, I mean, with some of the guys spinning, spinning around, I thought they were pretty cool. I gotta say.
Well, except for the one, but yeah.
Well, it
But
is
it
what
was
it
still
is.
kind of
But
cool, yeah. Uh, I don't know how Ryan Hunter Ray missed him, man. Wow. Because you see Will's nose cam and it's like round we go, oh no, and then and you see Ryan Hunter Ray's like, okay, I'm going, Chrome. Ah! Oh wow, I was close. It's kind of cool. By the way, Christian, good congratulations on your third place Indy Rivals finish. The
And he's back. Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Actually, you're second, really, because the people in front of you. Yeah, let's see. The Bengal Tagger, number one, tied with Graham Rahal. Phil from OpenWheel.com. They tied at
Oh, so they were
140.
tied.
They were tied at 140. So let's see their average lap speeds. Which one listened and which one didn't? This is how we can tell. Okay, so the winner, Bengal Tiger, average lap speed 93.335. Hmm. Sounds like and her lineup, Seabass, RHR, Nui, and Spigot. Not bad. So I'm gonna guess that Phil had the same exact lineup. Imagine that he did. And whoa, did I 93.335? What? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
See,
Actual.
this was
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
rebound I needed, though.
Wait, tiebreaker value 12.944. So he was 12.944 off, and she was 10.454. So she must have.
Phil average lap speed was 106 is what he picked.
Yeah, and hers was
She picked 103.
3. Yep. So they both listened, actually. It looks like this is right in that sweet spot of the average of pretty much everything. People count on a fast, clean race, pretty much. I mean, I picked about 100. I think I was like 101, right? Yeah, I was right around there. So right on. That's close too. Close tiebreaker. Good job,
Oh, yeah.
Bengal Tagger and Graham Rahal.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm starting to hear Lee Diffie say Graham Rahal now. I'm starting to hear what Phil's grabbing that from. And I did hear it once when he said his name, but I was like, okay. I mean, okay, Phil's exaggerating it a lot, but I sort of hear it. I still don't fully hear it, but okay. So all right, and I'm going to give it a B, a solid B. Yep. I mean, it was a rain race, so it's kind of stunk. Um, you know, but as far as the still exciting race. It wasn't a snoozer. Yeah, and Barber has you get two outcomes at a Barber. It's either a snoozer or it's action packed. One of the two. And more times than not, as of the last couple of years, it's been more action packed than I think like maybe like one out of the last 4 races or so. It was a snoozer. Yeah. So anyway,
There
and
you go.
I swear I don't know why that rang because it's silence. Oh, that was my iPad. I'm sorry. Um. So at any rate, what we call it? Yeah. B. Just a solid B. You know.
Okay.
I think if it was dry, I think it would have been in the A category definitely. But you know, but you can't help the weather. You really can't.
Yes, you
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right. Well, I guess guys, definitely check out the other interviews. We also posted a Parker Thompson interview and Pato Award over the weekend, so that's there too. Quick interviews, so and good interviews. I thought I really like Parker's interview. I told him, because we were talking about that it's been 4 seasons now that we've known him and everything, over 4 years now, and and that the only reason that he is where he is today is because of us. So that was funny. I thought that was funny. And then like Mike is holding the GoPro while we're doing that, and he's like, "Oh God!" Right? So I start yelling at Mike to shut up. It's funny. By the way, that GoPro will be up on YouTube. Yep, and the YouTube channel is also. Missy, is our YouTube channel connected to the website? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Right on. So I'll work on that after the show's over. I downloaded
Oh, wait a
everything.
minute. No, it's not.
Well, Missy's going to work on that after the show. Make sure it is, and I'm going to work on getting the GoPro videos. I got a great Christian Missy. I got a great GoPro of Dixon's uh, uh, pit, right? Because he had that pit stall where the gap is in pit wall for them to enter and exit, right? So I stood right, you know, alongside pit wall where the entrance was, and the I guess it would be the right or the outside front wheelman, when he throws the air gun to try to throw it out of the way so it doesn't get ran over, it literally landed about an inch away from my foot. I didn't move though because I was, I, I didn't see it, to be honest with you, until it was too late. Oh wow, that was close. But a great video nonetheless. Great video nonetheless. So that'll be up there along with the interviews. Yep. And the GoPro 5 is just an amazing thing. Don't buy the GoPro 6. It's a joke. It's too much money. The 5 is the same thing. You don't need 4K and 60, whatever it is. 40 is fine, or 30, whatever the 5 is. So it's still 4K. That's the only difference between the two. Except for the price difference, of course. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so save yourself some money. Get the same product. And it's just cheaper. There you go. So, Missy, what was your favorite part of the race? Or, no, I'm sorry. Favorite part of the weekend? Pro Mazda, Indy Lights, qualifying, race, IndyCar, whatever. What was your favorite part of the weekend?
I enjoyed the Pro Mazda and Indy Lights races a lot.
They were good, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought they were good.
Uh,
And I'm just saying, Parker won his first Pro Mazda race at Barber. I was there last year, the first year he won at USF 2000 was at Barber. I was there. I'm just saying.
I love Parker because he was so mad that he finished second in race 2. He was mad about it,
He should have finished first, but yeah.
Yep, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? But out of all the points he could have gotten, because I was talking, because I've become pretty close with Jay Green. I gotta admit, like he's literally the first guy I talk to when I get to the track, and he's the last guy I talk to before they leave, really, and before we leave. I don't know why, and we always have just great conversations, right? I respect Jay Green immensely. At any rate, I asked Jay. I said, Jay, what's the what's the points difference between first and second? And he went 5 points. I said, okay. I said, so out of all the possible points Parker could have gotten, through qualifying, fastest laps, all that. And he had the fastest lap in race 2, by the way. He got the point for that. He also got, pole for that as well. So
And he set the record for...
He destroyed it twice in a row. Yep.
The lap record.
Yep.
For Pro Mazda.
Qualifying number 1, he destroyed the record, and qualifying number 2, he destroyed his own record by almost a full second. Those cars are so fast. Wow. I think it was like a 10. I think he broke the record with like a 106.9 or something like that. And then he broke his own record with like a 106.1 or maybe a low 106.2, something like that. And that was pretty amazing. So there you go. So basically, so that's what I said to Jay. I said, so out of all the possible points, Parker walked away with 5 less points than he could have possibly gotten out of the entire weekend. And he went, yes. I said, that's a win in my book. So there you go. And he was like, I agree, but Parker won't. And that's what I like about him. He's got that. It's like that it's like all or win or nothing mentality, and you almost have to have it. All the greats and all the champions have it, right, Christian?
Absolutely.
And some people might call it pompous, some people might call it arrogant, narcissistic, whatever. I'm sorry, but all like Mario Andretti. If Mario Andretti finished second, was he happy? No. Ayrton Senna, perfect example. He is a prime example of if that man did not finish first, he was flipping anything he could flip. If he could have flipped the car and set it on fire, he would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, finishing second is worse than finishing last. Really.
But to the greats like Ayrton Senna and Mario Andretti and Michael Schumacher, second was last. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and that's, I think that's the difference, really. And you have to have that mentality, that alpha mentality. You have to have that hunger. Otherwise, I don't think you'll get it there. Some people, it just looks like they just get there too easy sometimes, maybe. And maybe that's just so much natural talent. They don't know what to do with it all. So, but hey, then others, they have both. And that's what makes a champion right there. So I have a really good feeling for Parker for this year. I really do. And he said it again in the interview. He's like, I know I say it every year. It's either win or go home, and it's my 4th year, and here I am again. But literally, it is literally I win or I go home. But that's the mentality he has to have, and he's better off for it. So there you go. All right. I think we covered everything. Or no, wait. I still have that pulled up. So where did Missy finish?
20th.
Ooh, that's. Oh, I finished 12th. You finished 20th, huh? 69 points. Yet, hey, at least you beat Adrian on a tiebreaker.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's all good then.
He got 69 as well. He finished 21st. His lineup was Max Chilton, Hinch, Ed Jones, and Jordan King. Okay.
Wait. So repeat that lineup again?
Yeah, I know. Adrian's lineup was Max Chilton, James Hinchcliffe, Ed Jones, and Jordan King.
James Hinchcliffe there as well. I was about to say they're all British.
Adrian's got such interesting picks.
But
but
James Hinchcliffe isn't British, so never mind.
Yeah, he's got really interesting picks.
If anything, he'd be more French.
Every week, Adrian, you you surprise me all the time, man.
I don't think he's broken out of the 20s yet, has he? Well, the one week he did sort of well. Yeah. He didn't finish dead last. But the tiebreaker, the difference between you and him, his was 16.9, so 110.2 258 was his pick. And Missy, what'd you pick? Okay, it's a
I don't know.
106.120. So you were a 12.75. So you were 12.75, and he was 16.92. Yep. So you beat him by 4 miles per hour on the average. Congratulations.
There you go. I'm just glad to podium again. And shout out to Cash. Shout out to Cash because he I saw that comment on Facebook with him and Missy and him saying, it is still statistically possible for me to go ahead and pull this thing out, but I knew I had to turn it around immediately, and I'm glad that that's exactly what I did. So thanks, Cash, for the push, man. You gave me the push to get this done. Where did he finish, by the way?
Oh, Cash. Oh, yep. Cash, our good buddy from Singapore. Cash Man, 14th, 96 points. He tied Molly from Fast Cars, Fast Girls, for 96 points. Let's see the averages. Cash picked 97.214, so he was expecting a bunch of crashes. Apparently, he was only three miles per hour off, and Molly picked. She predicted 3 people finishing the race with an 80.557. So she predicted about 16 cautions. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I mean, she was only 12 off because it was 93. So she must have listened to the weather report at the end of Lowdown for the Showdown and figured, well, it's going to be in the wet. It's not going to be that fast. Very smart. Very smart, Molly. Unfortunately, Cash listens too, and he's a smart guy as well. But, obviously their lineup was identical. And with Scott Dixon, Rossi, Veach, and Wickens. Not a bad lineup, actually. That's not too bad of a lineup. Looks like my kind of a lineup. Missing Will Power somewhere in there. But, yeah. I think I've picked all 4 of those guys at one point this year already. So, definitely looks like my kind of lineup. So, right on. Good job, guys. But, hey, everybody's a winner in the ICP Rivals, right? And you can find ICP Rivals at where, Missy?
Fantasy.indycar.com.
Right.
And don't listen to Frank. If you're not first, you're last.
Unless you're in ICP Rivals, then you're all winners. And just,
no, you're not.
Graham Rahal and...
You're not first, you're all losers.
We like our fans, Missy. We like the listeners. We don't want to call
Wait,
losers.
I finished 20th.
Well, you're a loser. You're a host. You're a losing host, surrounded by a bunch of winning listeners. Well, that's it. And I'm the second. I'm the vice champion host, and Christian is the winning host.
Listen, I don't believe in participation trophies, okay?
I don't either. But
That's right.
No one's getting a trophy in this league.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
That's right, Frankie Pie. That's right.
I love buttered stuff.
And I think on that note, you know that I know that Frank and Christian, everyone knows, May is T-minus 5 days, Ow!
Hi, this is meteorologist Scott Martin with Racecast Weather, and I have your forecast for the IMSA Acura Sports Car Challenge at Mid-Ohio. A cold front will be passing through Ohio during the day on Friday, bringing with it showers and thunderstorms. If you are at the track, you will need to stay weather aware as the Storm Prediction Center has placed nearly the whole entire state of Ohio in a marginal risk of severe storms, which is level 1 out of 5. The main threat will be from strong thunderstorm wind gusts, with a low-end threat of a brief isolated spin-up tornado or two possible. Winds will be quite breezy as well, averaging 15 to 25 miles per hour out of the southwest. The highest possibility of rainfall and stronger storms will happen mainly before 1 to 3 p.m., with rain chances diminishing somewhat after that. The afternoon high should top out in the lower 70s with rain chances at 70%. Please pay attention to the weather conditions and have a place of safety planned out just in case thunderstorms impact the area. Once that cold front passes, the remainder of the weekend looks fantastic. Saturday will feature more sun than clouds, with the high reaching the upper 60s to just at 70 degrees. Winds will be out of the west-northwest at 2 to 7 miles per hour. There will be another cold front that will move through the state during the day on Sunday that will bring even more dry air, but temperatures will stay around the same. You may need a jacket to start off the day, as temperatures are expected to be in the lower 50s, and the afternoon high will only reach the upper 60s with a mix of sun and clouds. Winds will be out of the west to northwest at 2 to 10 miles per hour. Once again, I'm meteorologist Scott Martin with Racecast Weather. Be sure to check out our forecast and our radar on racecastweather.com.